evening, everybody. Welcome to the live show. We got Mr. Bull and Mr. Bear here, and they've been battling lately. I mean, it's been absolutely chaotic lately in the market, I would say. Wouldn't you guys say? You guys agree? Yeah, I would say so. It's definitely crazy. Right now, it looks like it's a little bullish. We don't know if the peace is coming for the war, if it's going to end. Trump is hinting at it, and I guess he had a talk with Putin today. I have no idea, but it's crazy, Mr. Bull and Mr. Bear. Go ahead, and who's going to win, Mr. Bull or Mr. Bear? What do we think? I think Mr. Bull might take this right here. All right, there you go with our good old characters, and let's get into it. All information presented here is for educational and informational purpose only, not intended financial advice. So always do your due diligence. Good evening, Janica and everybody else. Not Bull and Bear, maybe Kramer and Michael Anthony. Yeah, you're not kidding right there. So let's see what the market looks like. It was a wild one right there. It started out completely red today, and then it changed around. And like I said, I think Trump had his talk with Putin, and Trump says Iran war will be over very soon is what he says. I don't know what's happening here, but then the market just bounced back, and oil decided to start dipping down again right here. So there you go. And this thing was all the way over 120 today. What was that? 124. And now it's back to 104. It says 106 in the after hours right there. So everything is absolutely bonkers right now. I'm not going to lie. So let's get into it and see what our opportunities are tomorrow, because this market is crazy. Look at crypto trying to turn back around on that news as well. And Bitcoin not looking so bad right there to try to curl back up again and try to make another move up. Look, remember I was saying it was going to crawl off that MACD. Well, it definitely happened. I guess we should have known there was something in the works here. Something was going on, and let's get to it, guys. So let's see what was popping that garden stage. Look at that there. Holy cow. That went from $10 all the way to 33 and then down to 21 in the after hours. We've looked at that a lot. That's a capital market in Hong Kong. AZI right there. That's a China auto truck dealership one. That got running. AMTX has been running up there. And DTCK is at Davis Commodities Laptop Travel. We've looked at that. RLMD. That was popping up today. Not sure what they do. Therapeutic company right there. And XENE ripping along today as well. So there you go with a few that were popping up there. And let's see what else is going to be popping up and what we're going to be playing. That SPY did finish up there. The Qs were ripping back up. And look at this. I mean, holy cow. Remember what I said this morning? Go back and listen. I said, I think you're going to have a little pop up this morning. Look at this. Popped up, little dip, and then boom, just went ripping for the rest of the day right there. Especially at the end of the day, it really got popping with that news. With the war is kind of coming to an end soon news, I'll say. And we'll see how true that is. And let's take a look and see what else is going on. We were on the small cap show today talking about your IWM, and it did look like it bottomed out right there, and it was bouncing back up. So keep an eye on that. And let's go through our list and see what's going on. You guys let me know what you want to look at. Put it up in the chat, and we'll go through it all. And I know I have my Luis Rodriguez list up there, so we'll hit that as well. And let's see. And you know, when Laptop Travel's list is really long like that, it means that the market's generally getting bullish again. So we might be seeing that turnaround. And that's why I did have that positive thumbnail tonight, Laptop Travel. I know you were saying you think the graphic tonight was too optimistic. This dance isn't over yet. I was just trying to be optimistic, and you had a ton of them on the list, so I just thought I would make it like that. And there you go. So here we go with ONDS pulling back, and look at it. I think you might get a bounce tomorrow, although it's curling down right there. I'm not so sure it really wants to dip hard. But then again, I guess if the war's over and these things want to pull back, we'll have to look at that, because this doesn't look too bad, ONDS. It's been popping around, that's for sure. It's a drone stock, and we'll have to see how that one wants to open. Galaxy trying to move back up right now. Look at it going up. With Bitcoin looking a little bit better as well. ASTS was taking a nice dip today. And let's see if that's going to get rolling off. That does look like it's going to get rolling off, and right back to 100 area right there for ASTS. So let's keep an eye on that. And your UMAC was moving along this morning, and it continued to run up there today, but it did pull back there. We can look at it right here on your minute, and you can see it was up there this morning, did pull back. It started to run back up a little bit, and we'll have to look at this good old UMAC right there, and everything looks crazy. This red wire was looking really good, and this one got running. I mentioned this one. It was literally at right around here at 1:30 when we were going through, and then look at that thing. It got ripping at the end of the day right there. I did see that. I said that thing was looking really good. I don't know why I didn't jump into it when I gave it out on the small cap show and told everybody it was looking really good. How about that? Rocket Lab, that's been looking good, and I think you're going to get cruising right here. So might want to keep an eye on this Rocket Lab. I've liked it for a few days, and it's just been kind of hopping around. Nuclear, not too bad today. NKLR, that could get bouncing. And Oklo right here was also up 6%. And SMR was up a little bit. So they don't look too bad. Little pullback in the after hours right there, but we'll be keeping an eye on the nuclear sector and EOSE. This one's gotten beaten down. It's trying to curl up, guys. I'm not convinced that it's exactly ready. You could get another little dip down, but that curl up, is going to pop. So that's what you want to see right there for EOSE. If you want to play that quick pop, that curl up to the MACD, and iron right here trying to run up. And remember, last night, I swear this was on the list. Where is it? I don't know. I think I filed it away. I was saying, was it this one and another one? I was saying that they looked like they were going to dip. I mean, the market looked like it was going to completely crash down. And then obviously this morning, it looked like it was going to bounce back up there. And then today, at the end of the day, the war, Trump said, was almost over. So things got cruising again, and it is a crazy, crazy market. So if you didn't trade anything today and you just kept your cash, it might have been a very good idea today, because it was super volatile unless you were playing them Qs up. I mean, it was pretty crazy today. And critical metals right here trying to bounce back up. Let's take a look at these guys and see what all these metal ones are doing, because MP I did see running back up, and USAR right here wasn't looking too bad today. That started to move as well. And UAMY, that started to move at the end of the day. So all of them guys look pretty good right now. This ASPI has been running up. It was running up a little more, and it's still continuing. It does have that resistance right above it there, about 6 something. So it could get into the 6s tomorrow. It's at 598 right there. So not looking too bad for ASPI. And Burner right here. This one took a nice dip this morning. I'm not sure exactly what happened. I think they might have had their earnings, maybe. I don't even know. Maybe they had news. I have no idea, but they had something going on, and it did pull back right there for Burna. So let's watch for that one. And UAVS, this one's been looking pretty good lately, and it was pulling back there to 20. So we'll have to see if that one wants to pull back anymore. And like I said, this market is crazy. You just got to lock in those profits when they pounce up. And LightPath, that looks like it wants to bounce back up right there off that resistance. So keep an eye on that. Carmen right here was looking good today. I know I had put these on the list last night on the night note, and look at that thing. Carmen looks like it's going to continue to run right there. And Katos right here. This one, what the heck am I spelling? I don't even know, but Katos was running as well, but it's hitting resistance. Not looking too bad right there for KTOS, so you can definitely keep an eye on that. SATS was running up as well today. And what was DXYZ? That was pulling back right there. So that SATS Echo Star, not a bad look right there. So we'll keep an eye on that as we have been. Gush looked really good until it started pulling back right there. That's your oil and gas ones. And again, the market got turned right back around. Boyle was up early too, and that pulled back. So that's your natural gas. And they were looking good this morning until they started to pull back right there. And RGTI, now that looks really good, guys. That might be a really good one for tomorrow. RGTI, Redwire, Rocket Lab right there. They're all looking pretty good, I must say. And then your UNH, we'll go through the other ones. UNH right here was dipping down. MOH was trying to pop up. I think this one's getting to be in a good spot. MOH and Oscar, not too bad. And let's look at our quantum ones and computer hardware. QUBT right here, just kind of hanging out. And your D-Wave right here was up a little bit. That looks like it's positioning itself to get moving there. So, excuse me, QBTS, keep an eye on that. QMCO, let's see what that Quantum Corp, that was hitting some resistance. It could get through tomorrow. It's not looking too bad right there. We'll have to see what it wants to do and how this whole market opens. And here's your Defiance Quantum ETF, and that looks a lot better as it's trying to cruise back up right there. So there you go with QTUM. And QSI, it's just been hanging out down here. Today, it started to move. So we've been talking about this thing. That does look like a little dip and rip look yesterday, and then it did get popping today. So keep an eye on that. That could continue to run up there, QSI, if you like that one. And then your IONQ is up a little bit, and this one appears that it's going to roll off that MAC. So not bad right there. Our Cats in Aerospace and Defense was popping up yesterday, and then obviously, or Friday, not yesterday, that was a Sunday. Friday was popping up, and then today it was pulling back right there. And then Z Space right here was down today. I did see that one and pulling back. And like I said, I'm assuming they're going to have like an offering or something there. So we'll watch for that. That's what we'll be keeping an eye on for there. So there you are with your quantum and computer hardware ones. And let's look at Mobilicom. That was up a little bit. Another drone one in Israel. Sinestech right here was down. And I'm not sure whatever happened with this laptop travel. Did they, like, it was like halt? I don't even know. Something was up. They had some message on Webull or something. IMRX, didn't I say this was looking pretty good, guys? That could continue that momentum right there. And we were talking about that one. And CMG, that one got beat down today a little bit. Chipotle right there, and also Cracker Barrel was dipping down as well right there, but they kind of look like they're bottoming out. That could get curling back up. We're gonna have to keep an eye on this Cracker Barrel. I have to put it over here because that could be an interesting look right there, and it could get curled back up and start moving. And if it does, it could really get cruising right there. Plug talked about this one on the small cap show. I think that's still getting set up. It ran up the other day, and now it's getting set back up after a little bit of healthy pullback. And then your Quantum Scape right here is another one like that. QSI has been beaten down right there. That looks like it's setting up too, so you can keep an eye on QS right there. And then that Rocket, Zach was trying to bounce back up, and I know it had a nice dip this morning. I saw it open up and it came down, and then it just started to rocket back up right there. So maybe that was the dip and rip, and it starts to move right there. So that could be a good opportunity, Zach. I know you like that one. RKT. And what about your Lucid right here? Remember, we were talking about this looking good, and Rivian, and both of them were up today right there. And they both look like they want to run some more. So you can keep an eye on Lucid and Rivian, and they're your EV plays right there, your electronic vehicles. I never posted that video of the Lucid, did I? Oh man, I totally forgot. I'm the worst, guys. I'm telling you, my memory sometimes is terrible, but I have to post that thing. Not that it matters if it's now or it was 2-3 weeks ago when I went to the car show. I don't even remember. It was a couple of weeks ago, and I took videos and said I was going to post them. I totally forgot. I have to do that. Let me write that down. Lucid videos, and then all right, there we go. Cool. Maybe I can do that after the show today, and I'll post them up there. Rich Tech Robotics is another one. Looks like it's trying to set up right there. And Galt was moving, guys, like I've been saying. You guys know I've been talking about this. I think it's going to run for Joseph Levy right there. So there's that GALT, and it is looking good. We were talking about, I did point out the ones that were going to be looking good, and the ones I pointed out yesterday are popping today. So that's always nice to see. Fun right here could get to be a little more fun going into the rest of the week. We'll have to see that one tomorrow right there. And then, of course, your Dave and Buster's play was pulling back a little bit. But again, that doesn't even look too bad. And if this market gets turned around, if this war's over and things get popping, this whole market's going to get popping really quick. Grab looks like it tried to bottom out right there. Laptop travel, so not sure if you're looking to grab some of them off the bottom. And AMPX still ripping up there. Look at that. That looks like it's going to continue its momentum. There you go, Ross and Progressive G. That's been a monster from the Discord right there, AMPX. So keep an eye on that. Tomorrow could run up a little bit more, as a matter of fact. Let's see what our NMTC Nora One Medical Technologies, and this one's just bouncing around. Looks like it could have a little healthy pullback. So watch for that right there. And then your KXIN was a little pullback right here and still doesn't look that bad. I'm telling you guys, this thing may just get blasted off right there. And could happen this week. I'm not going to lie. JTAI is another one. That Jet AI, another one had that look. It did have earnings today, so we'll see what happens. It did do that little dip, and that looks like a dip and rip look. So I'm keeping an eye on them penny ones right there. Doge Mama 9 and B-Hat did its old reverse split today. It was pulling back. It's not ready yet. So like I said, we'll keep an eye on it. Let me see how that opens up tomorrow, and we'll see if it actually wants to get cruising. And so there you go with B hat, and they do sometimes they take a day or 2 or 3 days or so after the reverse split, but then they get set up and they're pretty nice. And that L long right here, L long power, that was trying to run up. I gave this out the last few days right there, and it's curling up a little bit. So you can watch and see if that wants to run. And your Viking right here was looking pretty good. I know Luis Rodriguez might have mentioned this the other day. And VKTX looking pretty good right there. And American Airlines way beaten down, and that could be your bottom for your airlines, guys. So that's why I put them on. There's your Southwest right there. So your airlines could be some good plays right there as well. And here's Delta. They all have that similar look. They were all bouncing back up today and not looking as bad as they've been. I would say they may take a little bit of time, but if this is where they're going to be bottoming out, could be a good opportunity to take them out like 3-4 weeks, and then they'll be popping around then. Maybe they pop up before that, but I would give yourself a little bit of time right there. And that's your airline plays. And let's see, what's our Michael Anthony ones doing? ABEO. That was up today, and that was cruising. I do remember looking at that now that I see it, and that was popping up. D-Lo right here was dipping down a little bit. That doesn't even look too bad right there. And then your uranium play, UEC, and that could be bottomed out right there. They have earnings tomorrow, so we'll have to keep an eye on that UEC right there if you like earnings. And of course, your Tiger, it was up a little bit. Now that could be the bottom right here, guys. And obviously, I was waiting for the bottom. I was also kind of stalling for them earnings. They're 10 days away, March 19th. So we'll see exactly how it looks tomorrow. And then that PD's dipping down a little bit, but that's been running up pretty nice right there. So I would say that could be a little healthy pullback for pager duty. And there you go. It's your Michael Anthony plays. What about Marin Riot? They look a lot better as crypto's looking a little better. Look at Riot. Clean Spark was looking pretty good here. As a matter of fact, look at that thing. That thing could get rolling off the MACD and really get blasted up there. And then you have your ABTC and Pew, and these guys, they're just kind of hopping around, not looking too bad. Here's your NCPL. That was down. PSQH right here. We used to look at these every single day. And aren't you glad we stopped? Because they're just kind of useless. That looks like it could be popping right there. UPXI, that's the Solana one. That's looking a little bit better at the moment. So maybe that starts moving back up. ORBS right here, kind of dipping down. That one's been a mess, I mean. And BMNR right there looking a little better and could possibly run up some more tomorrow. So keep an eye on that. That could have a little setup for BMNR. And again, that runs with Ethereum. So there you go with some of them plays right there. Of course, let's look at our gold and silver. It had a weird look today. It got turned around at 1 o'clock. It still didn't look that great. And then all of a sudden it got popping at the end of the day. Silver, I thought, looked a little bit better, as you can tell. And there you go. What did I say on the small cap show, guys? I literally said silver looked better than gold. Look what silver ended up, and look where gold ended up at the end of the day. Silver ended up 3%, and it wasn't up at 1 o'clock this afternoon. I know that when we were doing a small cap, look at it, was down there, and there you go. It's your big run up at the end of the day. So I gave that out in the small cap show as well. So there you go. And let's see what else is going on with our market right here. Let me see what else. Gold, silver, REMX. That's what I wanted to look at, because that was starting to look a little bit better right there at the end of the day too. And there you go with that. That does not look bad. REMX. So looking pretty decent for that one. And what about your Nug and J-Nug? I know Dust and J-Dust were up the other day. And here's your Nug trying to bounce right back up. We'll keep an eye on it and see if it really wants to get curled up. There's that J-Dust right there. No, I wanted to look at J-Nug. And that's J-Nug right there. That was trying to jump back up. So we'll be keeping an eye on them guys as well. And let's see what else is going on. Rhythm right here, a little rhythm down, nothing too crazy. MSOS, a little bit of pullback, and then your Tilray right here is up. And like I said, I just posted a video on my YouTube if you want to see it. They did they bought out Brewdog or something like that. Yeah, there you go, Brewdog. So in Australia, I did a video about that, and that was the other day, as a matter of fact. So there you go with Tilray and Canopy Growth. I'll post it out at the end of this when I'm done the show. And Canopy Growth right here, just kind of hanging out at the moment. Let's look at that Blink charging. It still is just kind of riding this bottom area. It's not in the basement. It's just down here. and riding its just what riding itself. I don't know. It's just kind of cruising along. It looked like it was going to pop a couple times. It looked like it was trying to get into this channel, and it's just been kind of bouncing around. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. See when it wants to really get ready there. Sezzle pulling back a little bit. That looks like it's some healthy pullback to get set up. And there's your Sterling jumping back up, and it could jump up some more right there. And then what about Symbiotic trying to bounce back up? We'll see if that's the bottom. And obviously things were looking better at the end of the day, as Trump said that the war with Iran could be over soon. So there you go with them guys. And that's your Joey's Jams. Let's run into our laptop travel right here and see what his list is looking like. AIXC, that is looking pretty good, up 10%, and looks like it wants to run up some more tomorrow. Keep an eye on that. And the AQMS right here is Aqua Metals. Let's see what that's doing right here. That's on that 20. That actually looks really good. AQMS, I would say that is not looking bad right there for AQMS. Keep that one on your list. Atos right here is kind of just getting into that channel as well. You can see it on the 20. We'll see if it can really get curled up. And BFRG, that Bullfrog AI, that looks like it might like a leap up there. So you can keep an eye on the Bullfrog. And BMRA is Biomerica. Wow, that one had a nice run up today. Not sure what it did today, but it is a medical device company. And that could have some more momentum tomorrow right there for BMRA. BRFH, is this that Bread Financial? No, because that only had 3 letters, I think. Barfresh Group, and this is a non-alcoholic beverage company. Not familiar with it. It was up a little bit, up a little more in the after hours. Kind of has a weird look right there. I'd have to look at that one tomorrow. And CELZ, Creative Medical Technologies, running up a little more in the after hours right there. And CRVO, that's that Servomed. And look at that thing spiking up. That could continue its way up there tomorrow. That does not look bad right there. CYN, I don't even know what that's called actually. And that is curling up today, getting into the channel, looking a lot better for that CYN. Here's that Dogs right here. Dogness. We looked at this the other day, and that is getting into the channel, looking a lot better. What were the other dog ones? I forget. There's another one. Data Dog, I know that, but there was another one. Dogness and this one, Dogwood. That was the other one. And look at that bad boy. That's even curling up right there. Them 2 dogs looking pretty good. What about Data Dog? That's up. That looks like it's good. All 3 dogs looking pretty good right there, guys. So there you are. Let the dogs out tomorrow. And let's see WTX. There, damn, Laptop Travel had it very next one. He had both dogs on there. I wasn't even paying attention. There's the next dog, and it is looking pretty good. FTRK, I think. What the heck am I typing? FTRK Fast Track right here. It's moving around. I don't know if it's going to be popping tomorrow. We'd have to look at it. And GOVX is at GeoVax Labs, and let's see what that's up to. It's been beaten down right there. That does look like it's trying to make its way up now after being beat down. HYPD is Hyperion DeFi. I don't even know what it is actually. It's a biotech company. It is hitting some resistance. You'd have to be careful with that one tomorrow. It did look good today, but I would definitely see if it wants to get through that resistance tomorrow. INAB could move up a little more. It looks like it was jumping up in the after hours right there. And IQST right here, I'm not sure what it's called, but it was curling up, and that one looks like it's going to be running up. That's rolling off the MACD and trying to cruise up. And MTEN, Ming Teng International right here. That one was in the basement, came out for a day or two, got a reverse split, and it still doesn't look perfect. I don't know. I'll have to look at that one tomorrow. And my size right here, MYSZ, that was up. That could get up to that 50, which is about 71 cents. You're in the 60s right there for my size. And NEPH, let's see what that's doing. The Foros or something like that. That actually looks really good right there. NEPH, keep an eye on that. That's curling up for sure. NNOX right here is that NanoX Imaging. You mentioned this on the small cap show, and that does look pretty good right there, Laptop Travel. And this Polar Power, whatever it is, that thing's trying to curl up. We'll see if it tries to continue to curl up tomorrow. Seed Origin Aragtech SEED running up in the after hours. Watch that as a momentum play. And SHFS right here, cruising along, but it's hitting that 50. I don't know if it'll get through right there. I have to look at that tomorrow, to be honest. And SNTI right here. And that one just in that channel. And let's see, I'm not sure if that's SOS. I'm not even sure what that is. I think that's what it is, but it has resistance above. It could get moved. It looks like it wants to. I'd have to look at that tomorrow. And VGAS right here is Verde Clean. And let me see what this is doing. And that one looks like it could bounce off too. I'd have to look at that one in the morning as well, right there. So there you go at your laptop travel list. Thank you, laptop travel. Plenty of them there. And let's see, what does Lois Rodriguez have on his list right here? Good old Hims and Hers. Hims was running up. They seem to squash the problem with whatever it was, Novo Nordisk or whatever, and now they're going to be working together or selling the thing. I don't know what the hell they're doing, but that's why it popped, because I guess they're throwing out that patent problem infringement case. DDD 3D Systems right here, that was ripping up there. That looks like it could continue up. Looks like it had bad earnings right there. When was that? Today, I don't even understand what's going on in earnings, but that looks like the earnings were red and it's still running. How about this thing, guys? QURE. It was ripped up there last night, and we'll see if it can get through. I'm not convinced it can, but it was looking good before it did pop up. AEI, that looks a lot better down here, Luis Rodriguez. I know we were looking at that before. And your BMNR, like I had mentioned just a little bit ago, that's looking pretty good. Next Power right here, that's curling up. That could be a next power play. And let's see, NXT. So there you are with NXT looking good. And your light, that's trying to cruise back up. It had been taking a dip. I'm not convinced it's completely ready, Luis Rodriguez. So we'll have to look at it tomorrow. Bloom Energy is another one. Not convinced that's exactly ready. So we'll have to look at them tomorrow. And VRT Vertiv Holdings right here has some good resistance above it. And I'm not convinced that one's ready to get rocking. We'll see how these guys open up in the morning. And there's your CCJ, Uranium Camco Corp. We looked at it the other day, as a matter of fact. It is looking a lot better right there. We'll see if it wants to continue its way up. I was talking about Redwire earlier. It was looking great. It's running up right there. Circle is moving. Wow, look at that Circle. That looks like a momentum play right there for CRCL. And your Marvell right here was running up today. I did see that one. Looks like it could continue up. And Palantir was dipping, but now it was started pulling back up at the end of the day right there. And again, it got to the 60 or 160. Like I said, it got to 161. And we'll have to see if it even dips down right there. It looked like it could have today. And it obviously did pull back today, but we'll have to see if it wants to pull back anymore right there. So there you are, Luis Rodriguez. And let's continue through our list and see what our Mag 7 big caps and everybody else are doing. And then you guys, let me know what you guys want to see. Maybe we'll wrap it up early. Luis Rodriguez, if you have any good jingles, post them up in the X. I think I set it up. If not, I can always do it again. And yeah, we'll wrap it up so that everybody can get some rest, because I'm telling you that daylight savings time takes a toll on you. Holy cow. Just trying to adapt to that is like, it's like adapting to a brain injury, I feel like. Anyway, let's go through. It's just exhausting when they change the time. Apple trying to bounce back up today. Amazon was trying to bounce back at the end of the day right there. And so was Google was bouncing back up. And Google actually looks really good right there, guys. So I would say Google looking the best out of your Mag 7. Probably, I looked at them, I would say it probably does. Meta looks like it's trying to crawl back up. Microsoft was looking pretty good as well, and that's still not looking bad right there. That could continue up too, but Google looking pretty good, I must say. And NVIDIA right here was trying to bounce back up, and that's not looking so bad, but still has to get crawled up there. And Tesla was trying to move back up today as well, and we'll have to see what that wants to do right there. So we will see what's happening with our Mag 7. What did you say? The headline: Iran plans to impose duties on tankers in Persian Gulf. CNN appears to be a breaking news story right there. So according to Laptop Travel, that's what he's saying. So, and the specific duties or something on tankers, And so all that good stuff, it's nonstop chaos, that's for sure. And we're in the middle of a war, so you're gonna have nonstop chaos. AMC pulling back, but remember, GameStop was looking pretty good. And look at that thing. That actually looks like it's trying to set up, guys. GameStop right here, GME. So check that out. Laptop travel. Chewy wasn't looking too bad today either. That looks like it wants to roll off the MACD. And then Unity looks like it wants to run. So you can keep an eye on Chewy and Unity right there. Both of them looking pretty good. Netflix pulling back a little bit. And honestly, it should probably pull back right there. How are you, Robin? There you go. Glad you can tune in this evening. And I always mention you every night and every morning when you're driving to work. So nice to see you on live. I know you've had a busy schedule lately. As it's just getting busy now because now we have daylight saving times and now sports start mostly with the kids outside. And I do have my first t-ball practice tomorrow, so I will be there at 5 p.m. But nothing. I did the schedule. Actually, I did do the schedule. I just uploaded it into the app today. I had a problem. I think I was telling you guys I had a problem with the app. Finally got into it today. Got to upload all the games and stuff. So yeah, it's just like Tuesdays, and that's like the only night. And I should be home by 8 o'clock every time, so it shouldn't even affect the show at all, which is good. So anyway, that will be good old T-ball. And like I said, everybody, the daylight saving time, so it's going to get stay light or darker. Stay light or darker. That's what I just said. It's going to stay lighter later is what I meant to say. Stay light or darker. How about that? That sounds like a Michael Anthony sentence right there. Holy cow. And so yeah, everybody's starting to really get busy now. Seems like things die down a little bit in the winter time, and then all of a sudden, right around this time, it gets crazy going into like March, St. Patty's Day, Easter, April, and then just getting into spring and summer as they start coming up. And I say it all the time. It'll be like Memorial Day before we know it. You guys know that kids will be getting done school. It'll be crazy, and that'll happen like the snap of a finger. So anyway, let's see what's going to be snapping up tomorrow and see what we can play. AVGO, the semiconductors were looking pretty strong today. Look at that bad boy. That looks like it wants to continue. I know MU was looking good, and that SanDisk was looking really good today. I think I said to short that down yesterday. That was the other one. Holy cow, that would have way. I looked at it this morning. I was like, nope, don't want to do that today. That thing just changed course. But yeah, that thing was looking pretty good right there. How about your TSM jumping back up? Again, I'm not completely convinced, but they do look a lot better today. SMCI, that looks pretty good. That looks like it's trying to get set up. We've been playing it. Remember, I had options on that. I did sell them a little earlier right here. I had them going in right here. And no, I had RGTI. I'm sorry. I get these two confused because I can tell when RGTI is spiked up right there. I had it for that. But yeah, SMCI is definitely looking good. I've been watching this thing, and I think it's going to be time pretty soon. So we'll be keeping an eye on SMCI right there. AMD was up as well, and that thing looking pretty good. So keep an eye on AMD right there. That's trying to get set up as well. And let's see what else is going on over here with your QCOM and Snow. QCOM up a little bit, looking a little stronger. And Snow is going up right there. So there you go with them guys. PayPal, it was dipping there. Watch for it. Maybe it comes back to the 20 and then gets popping back up. Intel was up again today, and that was looking pretty good. I think Intel is getting set up right there as well. With your AMD, I think Intel's getting ready to rock and roll. And look at Dell. Dell looks like it's going to be popping back up right there. So there we are. IBM pulling back at the moment, but that one had been running up. So maybe a little healthy pullback, nothing too crazy. And then we already talked about Palantir. And like I said, it's not even looking too bad right there, I must say. Let's see. Sophie was down a little bit. That doesn't look too bad either right there for Sophie. We looked at SanDisk, and like I said, I was way off on that last night. I thought that was going to continue down, and that just turned right back around. It did continue down for about like 30 seconds there, and then it just ripped up the entire day. I saw it this morning. I looked at it first thing and said, oh, that's not going to be a play right there. And that was SanDisk. And Adobe right here was pulling back a little. This thing's been running up. Maybe you get a little healthy pullback. Oracle is pulling back as well. And didn't they have earnings, or they have earnings tomorrow? I think earnings tomorrow for Oracle. So we'll be watching that. and anybody that likes Oracle earnings. MicroStrategy pumping back up right there, looking pretty good, trying to run up on that 20 and the 20 and 50 are meeting up. So it does look a lot better for the crypto plays. We did look at them, and MicroStrategy reflecting that. Hood is up as well, looking good. And then your Coinbase right here is not looking so bad either. And then Bull was actually up today. And let's see if Bull can get cruising right there. Daylight savings time's a lifesaver for you, huh? Laptop travel. It drives me nuts. I'm not going to lie, but you get used to it. I just like it because I know that in the summertime, it's going to be lighter later. I won't say lighter, darker. It's going to be lighter later. I can't barely say. It's like a tongue twister. And space looking pretty good right there, guys, to roll off that MACD. But Boeing was looking great yesterday. Remember, Trump had some news that did pull back a little bit there today. DJT just kind of hopping around at the moment. I'd imagine if the war goes over, that might pop just based off of being DJT. And Nike right here dipping down. What about Lulu right here was also dipping down. So you had both of them. They need to get set up right there. Disney, that couldn't be bottoming out. It could dip a little more. McDonald's right here, like I say, whenever the market's red, this thing looks good. And that's trying to curl up right there for MCD. So we'll see if that wants to get rolling through the MACD. And there's Oxy up a barely right there. It doesn't look bad until after hours when they all pull back right here. So you can see in the after hours, oil and gas came down, including your USO. Well, that went up in the after hours somehow. These T-Pet and all these guys, they ran up today. They were good plays, but they do look like they're coming down now. Battalion, that looks like it's coming down. So maybe these oil plays, look at that Indo, that looks like it's coming pretty good, coming down pretty good too. So there you are. With some of these oil and gas plays, they do look like they're pulling back. And we already looked at that DXYZ. It was down. SATS was up today. And there you go. That's our list right there. Let me see what you guys have. And like I said, we'll wrap it up a little early. People can get some rest this evening and enjoy the rest of their night. And then we'll be on at 7 a.m. tomorrow to see what the pre-market's going to be and what's going to happen overnight. We have no idea. This is so crazy. U.S. bonds rise as Trump hint at ending war eases inflation angst. And then Trump says Iran war will be over very soon. Trump announces sanctions relief to ease oil prices, says Iran war to end very soon. And the U.S. stock futures fall. Oil slides after a volatile day on Wall Street, and the stock futures fall as traders weigh Trump's signal that Iran war may soon end. So there you go. Let's see what's active over here. If anything grabs our attention. AZI right there. Here's that Elong. Like I said, that's been on our list. That bad boy is popping up, that EONR today. I did see that. There's your HIMS right there. Oh, no, that's the two-time ETF for HIMS. HIMS is HIMS. Here's HIMS right here, and it was jumping up. There's BMNU. That's the BMNR ETF right there. Look at that. American Airlines. We were just talking about USO right there, talking about that. TPET, we were talking about that as well. UVIX is your long VIX futures. Your SPY and DXST right there. Decent holdings. That could be all right there. I think we were looking at it earlier. Your Qs right there. And I mean, we've already looked at everything. So I would say the most active ones, ONDS. MOBX, we were looking at that. It's pulling back a little bit. Intel right there, and Sophie. PBR right there. That's a petroleum one. And let's see. It does look like it wants to go up a little bit, and we'll have to see in the morning because, like I said, a lot of them went down in the after hours right there. So let's see what else is going on in the market and what you guys want to look at over here. We did our Luis Rodriguez list, so if you're just tuning in, you can check them out. We already went through them. And let me see, Janica, what else is going on right here? And if you missed the beginning of the show, I had Mr. Bull and Mr. Bear on. They haven't joined us in a little while. And I guess they've been battling it out lately. It's been a crazy Bull and Bear battle, I would say. So we'll have to see how it opens tomorrow. Who's going to win, Mr. Bull or Mr. Bear? I don't know. I think Mr. Bull might take it tomorrow morning. That's for sure. Well, at least what it looks like at the moment. What does this say? Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps. Our armed forces are waiting for the entry of the U.S. Navy into the Strait of Hormuz and the arrival of an aircraft carrier, General Ford. So there you go. That's what we're waiting on. And DJI DJI was down 888 points and then finished up 239. What a swing. Holy cow. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. The Dow Jones. I remember Michael Anthony saying that last night, that it was down pretty big right there, and that was a lot of points. Here's you go. Oh, I didn't mean to click on it. I just wanted to scroll over. Dow Jones is down 0.18 in the over hours, S&P down 0.24, and your NASDAQ's down 0.23, your Russell's down 0.47, and your Nikki's down 1% right there. Look at your Euro stocks right there. And there's your VIX, not looking too bad overnight. And where is your oil? Look at it. It did pull back right there. So we'll see what's going on with that. Look at sugar right here. Ooh, anybody needs some sugar? That one's jumping. Look at that. I was going to say sugar's jumping, then silver. Look at that stuff. I mean, silver, I was calling. I don't know why I didn't play silver calls today either. I am an idiot because I said it was going to pop. I knew it was. I could tell. I said it in the small cap show. I specifically went over gold and silver at the end of the small cap show just for that reason, because silver had looked so good. How crazy is that, guys? And I didn't even do anything about it. It's so bizarre. But anyway, I was just kind of watching the market today. And I don't know, it was just a little crazy volatile. And I had Dougie home for the morning. That's why I wasn't on this morning, guys. Me and Dougie were hanging out, making pancakes and having a fun morning there. I was just watching the market and seeing what was going on, how it was going to open. So yeah, I was checking it out. And let's see, Doge Mama 9, what do you have right here? RENX. Let me see if I can fit my fingers on the keyboard the right way. We'll get to it. RENX, that does look good for a penny stock. Wasn't on my list, but it is now. I'll tell you that. Good one right there, Doge Mama 9. She is the penny stock queen, I'm telling you. So, yeah, that looks really good going into tomorrow. I'd keep an eye on that. How about Alarity? Isn't that what this is? ALLR? And it is Alarity Therapeutics. And you guys are like, how do you even know this? And I don't know either because I can't remember anything. But somehow I started to remember what the names of these stock companies are. I guess it's all part of my cognitive therapy. I made it. That's why I do it, to be honest with you. I try to do it as a brain exercise. And now I'm actually starting to get my long-term memory back, and some of my other I guess my brain's starting to work a little bit better. So that's always nice. I guess after over 2.5 years of doing cognitive therapy and everything else, finally starting to pay off here. You guys know I kind of work my butt off on it. And so yeah, that's why I try to remember these stupid things. And it's just more of a brain exercise for me, to be honest with you. So there you go. But it is Alarity. I don't know how I remember that. It did spike up today. It has an interesting look right there, Doge Mama 9, like a little bit flat. I would actually jot that one down for the morning, which I'm going to do, to take a look at that Alarity right there. So we'll keep an eye on that one. And let me see. Laptop Travel said he knows Israel has already stated they are tracking who? I don't even know. That dude. Mojaba I don't even know how to say his name, the new supreme leader of Iran. You know that dude's going to get smoked. I mean, you know that they're just going to light that dude up immediately. It's not even going to be a question. And I know I saw you guys playing the AAOI calls this morning, and that did jump up. That was a beautiful call there in the Discord this morning, guys. It certainly was. And Burn is disappointing earnings right here. That's what happened. They had earnings. I didn't see the E, so I didn't know what the heck happened. But fiscal one, yeah, there you go. Anyway, yeah, Berna did dip down. They were disappointing right there, and that's where I was. And KORU, holy cow, what a swing this is. We were talking about this bad boy. Whoa, it just popped right back up, I guess, as soon as the oil and as soon as the war was saying that it was going to get over. And now, obviously, it's not yet, but just on that news alone, KORU went nutty. Holy cow, that thing is crazy right there, that ETF. So definitely keep an eye on that bad boy, Robin, and everybody else. And let's see, MS in Florida. How have you been playing KORU the last few weeks? And there you go. One you have to stay up on there. You're not kidding. That has some big wild swings at 3 times. We may have to get into that KORU right there. That's looking pretty good right there, especially if the war ends up being over and all that good stuff and oil's coming down. I think KORU will pop right back up. Robin, critical metals right here. We were looking at that earlier. Let's take a better look at it again because I kind of forget what I even said. I think it was up a little bit right here. So let's just take a look and see. It was up a little bit right there, and it doesn't look bad. It just doesn't look perfect. Let's put it that way. And they all kind of look like that at the moment. You saw you. I'll have to look at them, and I'll take a look at them in the morning when you're driving to work tomorrow. So just tune in, and I'll definitely go over critical metals and all them guys. I've been doing that each morning anyway because they are pretty important ones, and I am watching for them to get curled back up. I think they will be good opportunities. And Robin, Chad, this REMX is a great play too. It runs even when them the critical metals ones don't necessarily. This is a strategic metals and rare earth, and this thing's been running a lot, and it looks pretty good to try to get curled back up. I'll keep an eye on it. You can see it right here trying to. It's right there. If it gets curled back up, it's going to get cruising right there. So definitely keep an eye on that. Crude oil hit 122 before pulling back to 88. Yeah, that was a heck of a pullback right there. I would say that's for sure. And where's our Michael Anthony? He's not even on yet. We're going to end up ending the show pretty early tonight, which is perfectly fine. I don't mind flying through. Seems like a lot of people are exhausted, like I said, from the daylight savings time. And I think just this market's exhausting. How do you go, guys? I mean, you ready? Talk about exhausting right here. And like I said, in the morning, I did mention the fact that I thought the market was going to go up. I actually said that this morning. We were on at 7 a.m. But I mean, how do you go from Friday all the way up here? You dip down hard in the after hours, pre-market, all that good stuff. And then next thing you know, it just goes ripping all day on your cues. I mean, what a crazy market, guys. It is bonkers right now. Same thing, USO. I mean, if you had calls going in and you sold them at the very open, you made out like a band. I mean, look at this thing. It opened up there, ran up a little bit more at 10 a.m. and then just took a nosedive and came back up a little bit more. But what a volatile market right there. No, nothing that you really want to be staying in for a long time. That's for sure. When you're up on them, you just got to lock in these profits. You have to, and then just move on to the next opportunity. You don't really have a choice in this type of market, to be honest with you. If you hold on to it, you will be up and then you will be down, and you might be back up again, and you'll probably be back down if you continue to hold it. That's just the type of market that you're looking at right now. It is volatile. It's spiking all over the place. And these markets are sometimes these choppy markets are tough to trade. So you do have to pick out your best opportunities and just go with them. And obviously, if you have conviction and you're confident in it, you can't get shaken out if it pulls back one day, because that pullback might be a healthy pullback, and they have been ripping after the pullback. So let's just go through our list, see what we like tonight, and we'll wrap it up early, and then you guys can kind of study, make your watch list, rest up, and do whatever you guys want to do this evening. Redwire looking good. I mentioned it earlier on the small cap show. Rocket Lab, I've been saying that's looking good. I think that's looking great. I think I have to look at that one tomorrow. RGTI setting up right there as well, not looking too bad. And that Galt Joseph Levy is looking great to try to move back up. Rivian and Lucid, both of these are looking pretty good right here. So keep an eye on them. EVs and NXT could be the next power one. Look at that thing curling up. I don't even know if you'll get through the MACD, but it could be a good one. The airlines could be a good sector as well. So keep an eye on that. And this Carmen could keep a little momentum right there. That was not looking bad. IMRX not looking too bad either. And AMPX may keep its momentum. It's been running up there looking pretty good. I know Benz likes that one. We were early in the Discord. VKTX, the good old Viking right there, looking pretty strong. Circle looks like it's going to be running circles around things tomorrow in the top, so you might want to keep an eye on that. And then that KORU we were just talking about, that Korean one, South Korea bull 3 times, and that thing's crazy. We'll be looking at that tomorrow. And then a couple setups right here. D-Wave not looking bad, and I mentioned Plug. And QuantumScape trying to get set up down here as well. And then you have your BMNR right there. That one looks like it's setting up as long as Ethereum runs. GameStop running up, not looking too bad right there. And then your AMD and Intel right here, they were looking pretty good as well. So keep an eye on them. And then your Chewy and Unity, also 2 that are looking pretty decent at the moment. And SMCI was looking pretty good. And then, of course, your Cracker Barrel. We're going to be watching this thing to see if that wants to curl up And if it wants to be a good one, that Aqua Metals is looking good, Laptop Travel. And that RENX right there, Doge Mama 9, I do like that look right there. So there you go. I would say that's a pretty good market review. We kind of just rolled right through everything, and it is a little bit of a crazy market. So it's not like we're going to miss anything between now and 7 a.m. because it's just going to be volatile regardless. Like I said earlier, Trump says Iran war will be over very soon. So that made the market want to go back up. We'll see what he says in the morning. We could be bombing them and nuking them by 7 a.m. You have no idea. It's so crazy, guys. So like I said, I'm not convinced completely that the market wants to run. I was just being a little optimistic that they might end the war soon. Let's put it that way. So we'll see how soon will be. And that is what we have in our market today. So all information presented here is for educational and informational purpose only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. And Luis Rodriguez said no jingles this evening. He was a little he was out of work late. I thought you were saying you're still exhausted. I don't blame you. You probably still are exhausted. I'm telling you, this whole entire time change is just a killer. When you lose that hour of sleep, and then if you're used to going to bed late, that's the other thing with the time change. If you're used to going to bed late, it's kind of hard to just like pass out like an hour early. And then so you're up late and then you got to wake up early. So it just kills you. It burns the candle at both ends. I feel it too. And then with my head, I definitely feel it. So that's why I was figured we'd just kind of cruise through, let people rest up. We covered the entire market. Crypto not looking too bad this evening, I must say. So we'll see if it wants to continue. Look at that Bitcoin going up even more right there as we're talking. And yeah, it's looking pretty decent. So I think the market looks decent at the moment. We'll say that. And you guys know we are always going moment to moment as we do this show. And as we trade, that's how we trade. We're not really long termers. We more or less look for the quick pops and lock in the profits and get out of them. So that was the list that was looking good. We just went over. Anyone tuning in late, this is it'll be up there and you guys can check out the replay. So there you are, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Robin, good to see you. And we'll mention you tomorrow as you're driving to work. And Luis Rodriguez, MS in Florida. You keep playing that KORU. Any questions on it? Hit up Laptop Travel. He's like a master at this thing. It's crazy. He watches that thing like crazy. And who else was hanging out besides Doge Mama 9 and Janica, Luis Rodriguez, Laptop Travel, everybody else tuning in that always tunes in. I greatly appreciate it. Thanks a lot for hanging out. Be sure to like the show and follow along on X, Instagram, and YouTube and all that good stuff. And you guys know we'll be on at 7 a.m. to do our pre-market show. I'll go ahead and put the night note in the Discord tonight. So you got your Discorders. We'll have that. And then, yeah, we'll do our pre-market show tomorrow as we usually do, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. We do this show every Sunday through Thursday at 8 p.m. And I think and if we change the time in the summer, I think maybe just like June, July, and August. That's all we'll do. I like the 8 o'clock hour. We get done early sometimes. It works out way better, I think, for everybody, to be honest with you. So if we do anything and change it in the summertime, it might just be them 3 months, just because obviously it's the daylight's way later and people are out doing things in the summertime a little later. So they would be the only 3 months I would change it. So we'll keep this 8 o'clock time slot. I really do like it. So I'm glad we changed it this year to 8 p.m. and it worked out better. So I hope you guys enjoy it and it works out well for you. And again, any questions, feel free to shoot me a message on X. We didn't get our Michael Anthony. You know he's going to pop on right now as we're saying goodbye. He always does. But we're going to say goodbye so everyone can get some rest this evening. And we'll be back at tomorrow morning. So you guys tune in at 7 a.m. We'll go through the market. We'll see exactly what wants to be popping, what oil looks like, what gold and silver is doing. We'll even look at ALLR and critical metals right there as well. And we'll see what else is going on. So you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. Get some rest. And I'll see you guys in the morning. Thanks for tuning in. And have a good night, everybody. I'll see you guys at 7 a.m.